back again. I miss you all so much. It's been a delay as far as me delivering the videos, as I said in my previous video, but I had a recent job injury, so pray for me as far as that situation. Now I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So today, we're going to talk about understanding celibacy and why you should wait. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and explain, what celibacy is and the aspect as far as abstinence and chastity. So, celibacy, if I can pretty much give you a definition, because sometimes a lot of people get things misconstrued as far as being celibate and being abstinent. So celibacy is a voluntary choice to remain unmarried or engaged in any form of sexual activity, usually in order to fulfill a religious vow. A person who practices celibacy is said to be celibate. So you can think of celibacy as like someone that's a nun that's just adamant on no sexual activity whatsoever, and they're not interested in being married either. Some are interested in being married, but some are just practicing this just like for religious purposes, or it may be something else. But celibacy is really adamant on no sexual activity at all. And abstinence is also called continence, and it's often like a temporary strict avoidance of all forms of sexual activity for any reason. So I'm abstinent, and I'm abstaining from any sexual activity until I get married. And I'm going to give you all like a lot of reasons why I fall into that kind of aspect and that type of lifestyle. And chastity is embracing abstinence as a praiseworthy virtue according to the prevailing social standards of morality. So it's like being like pure. That's what chastity is. So that's that. Now that you kind of understand what being celibate means and what being abstinent means, because at first when I first started practicing it, I didn't do a lot of research. I just thought being celibate was like the same thing as being abstinent, but it's not. It's like two different things. So first, we're going to talk about why you should wait. So the first thing is, it's like you're dying to your flesh and you're strengthening, your spirit, man, and you're being more disciplined, and you get to see the things from God's perspective, and you learn to understand why he wanted men and women to wait. A lot of people don't understand the aspect of people getting together and having sex before marriage and creating those soul ties. That can really damage your life. I can tell you from myself. I'm going to be really transparent. Sorry, I ended up getting a call in the middle of the video. Oh my gosh, that hurts me. Anyway, so as I was saying, a lot of people don't understand the aspect of when you're having sex before marriage and why it can be so detrimental to your health, your well-being, your thought process, everything. It could totally throw you off. And I say that myself because I have experienced it. And me myself, when I was practicing, I always wanted to wait until marriage, but things panned out totally different for me. And I repented for that. And a lot of people get really down when they kind of talk about their celibacy story and things of that sort, but I feel like everybody goes through certain things and have certain experiences so they can thoroughly explain why someone else shouldn't do that, and they kind of go through it just to help somebody else that may be in their position later on. But when I first like told myself, okay, I'm gonna wait until marriage. And I was practicing that. I was really strong in my word. I changed my eating. I started fasting, and I felt like I was starting to like gradually go to like a different realm, as far as my relationship with God. And when I got into a specific relationship, I expressed to that person that I'm kind of like I'm living this type of lifestyle where I'm trying to abstain from sex. And I asked, like, or is that something that you're interested in, or if not, then we can't really date. That person said that they were. But once you get around somebody that you're really, you guys are really kind of head over heels, and you're really attracted to each other, and say if you've been friends for like a long while, and then you like all of a sudden you express how you feel about that person, and you guys are like continuously spending time or whatever, you have to know for a fact that that person is gonna support you in that walk that you're trying to do. This particular person, I don't feel, was trying to support me. They were trying to do something else. And I got some of those signs, but me myself, in my head, I feel like I was trying to like make it be something that I wanted, like, and it has. We have to be on one accord, especially when you're in a relationship. But when you're doing something like that, and it kind of comes to your walk with God, that comes first before anything. And I got really thrown off track, and me and that person ended up having sex, and I'm not really proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And I felt really down, and I just felt like, I'm nothing. I don't know why I did that. And then I started blaming it on the person. Like, I told you what I was trying to do, and you continue to try to push me, to do this. Even though I can't 100% blame it on that person. You know what you want. You know what type of situations you cannot be put in. As far as, going over to someone's house, or, getting really comfortable, or like cuddling or something like that. Some people just cannot do that. And I felt like I was really strong in my faith where, that's not nothing for me. But it can grow into something else, which it did ultimately. So I would suggest, if this is something that you're trying to do, the person that you're trying to date, make sure that they are 100% on board with what you're trying to do, or you can get completely thrown off. And sometimes it takes years to get back to that place. So just understand that that's really, really important, because I had to start all the way over. And that's not easy. It's a lot of things that I'm still trying to cut off till this day, as far as my eating habits and things that changed once I got in that specific relationship. But yes, it's really detrimental. So secondly, when you're abstaining from sex, I can say that you give yourself a lot of time to see what it is you like and what it is that you don't like. And I've done a lot of that this year, and I'll say that this was like the best year for me, just experiencing things that I love to do, and just experiencing just me time, just loving on me. And it was just like a breath of fresh air. This was like the best summer I ever had. And as of right now, I have no friends, and I have no significant other, and I've traveled alone for the first time this year. I traveled out of the country, and I had so much fun. I was a little bit afraid, but I moved to a state before by myself, so it wasn't like a really big deal. But it's a lot of things that I done by myself this year, and going to different events. and I really enjoy myself. Now I know what I like, I know what I don't like, I know what I want out of my relationship, and what I expect and what I don't expect. I know how to speak up and say things and say speak on things that I don't appreciate. Because when I was a lot of times when females are younger, they'll pretty much be a little naive, and some things that a male will do, they'll just brush it off like, okay, well, I guess I won't say anything this time because I really want to be with him. Da, 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 da. After you get to a certain age, you know what? Just scratch that. I mean, you have to put yourself first and respect yourself. If it's something that you don't like, it's something that you don't appreciate, you have to speak on that. No matter what age you are, you have to make a man respect you. You have to be something to respect. You have to know your worth. And also, like I said, you get to ultimately find yourself, and that's a really, really beautiful thing. And another thing is you get to weed out suitors that are no good for you early on, and you save yourself a lot of heartache. I mean, I just basically told you my story, and what ultimately happens when you fall for someone that's not 100% on board for your walk, when you're trying to be abstinent or you're trying to be celibate. Your partner has to be on board with you and want to go, just support you wholeheartedly. And and after you thoroughly explain that to them, I feel like you should go before God and pray and ask him to send you signs, as far as being with that person and going forward to being in some type of relationship, things of that sort. So I say consult with God first, and you'll get your answer. And also, I feel like you should wait because you're getting God's very, very best. I can say, even though I was really young when I was in, I can think back to one of my best relationships ever. When I was really young, and around that time, I wasn't really doing. I was just really just going with the flow, doing what I was supposed to be doing, going to school, and trying to stay on task. And that relationship just came out of nowhere when I was doing what I was supposed to do, and that person just kind of swept me off my feet, and there was just no pressure to do anything sexually, kissing, just none of that. It was like the best friendship that I ever had. And we built our relationship off of a friendship, and I feel like he respected me as a person, my thought process, my bubbliness, and just me being a meek and sweet person. I just felt like he kind of I don't know. I do feel like he kind of protected me also, but I just feel like you get your purpose made when you're on your road to purpose. And that saying, with that relationship, it didn't work because I was kind of, I can say that it was my fault, and I will go into detail as far as that relationship too later on. But like I said, just wait for God's very best. It's going to be worth it. And for the end, in conclusion, just know, ladies, young ladies, grown women, queens, just know that you are worth the wait. All of us is worth the wait. You have to know this. You have to live by this. It's just something that's really, really near and dear to my heart. Just being worth the wait. I even have me a shirt that says "Worth the wait" with the crown by it. Just know that you're worthy, and know that you're gonna get God's very best when you wait. So that's all for this video. I hope you all got something out of this. Ladies, continue to be queens, continue to shine. If men are looking at this also, I mean, just flip it. Same thing for you kings. And I'll be back probably within a few days with another video. Different topics. I think I'm going to stay on task as far as staying within the word this week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.